Nobody ever tells you how many hoops teachers have to jump through just to stay in the classroom. Join me on a little rant in my car after dropping off yet more paperwork. This is evidence, but this is me, over 40, starting over. All right, I just want to make note of something. Not really fussing, but maybe just a little bit. So this is my first year as a new teacher. Now, I haven't had any issues with my school, the little kiddos, or the parents. But I will say one thing for sure, and this is probably where my rant goes forward, is my God, if there is a shortage and a need for teachers, why on God's green earth are you guys requiring so much? I just dropped off more transcripts. So here's the deal. In order to get a provisional license, they didn't want just my transcript that I got an undergraduate bachelor's degree. They didn't want just my transcript that I got a graduate master's degree. They wanted the community college hours, which have nothing to do with me having a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, which obviously show that I have the credentials to teach. I had to go and get those transcripts. Then here's the other thing. The year is not even over. And let me just tell y'all, I have completed 90 hours of classes and I don't know. I'm going to call them all continuing education because I don't even know the proper verbiage for what they all are. But I've had a mentor. She's been great. I've had classes that I've had to take on. All these online classes that I've gone to class, all that. Now I have one more course. It's called a Canvas course through, I don't know. It's something about reading and language and whatever. Anyway, y'all want to know how many hours that is? It's 27 hours. Me and a couple of my cohorts found out about this yesterday in another class. So I have to complete this by the end of the school year this year as a new teacher because all my coworkers apparently did it last year when this came out. My issue is y'all are making it very difficult for people to want to stay in teaching. There is no other job in this world, I feel like, that you have to prove that you can do the job. I love teaching. I want to teach. But y'all are making it very hard for me to want to keep the job with all of the constant requirements that y'all put on teachers. And then even you have the audacity not to pay them well. Come on. You should be paying teachers very well. Again, I love my job. Not complaining about that. I am complaining more or less about all of the requirements that you guys have for me to prove that I can teach some kids because I know how to read a manual and watch some videos and all these kinds of things and work with students and all that kind of stuff. I'm over it with all of these requirements that you guys have, and then yet and still I'm not done. So by the time I finish this school year, I probably will have a total of 120 hours worth of courses and things I've taken. Not to mention, let me tell y'all this, you don't know this, I have to go back and get another degree. I am in school right now to get a second master's degree in education because I have a master's in business and I have a bachelor's in human development and psychology, and then I have a certification in seminary. But none of those say that I can teach children, which I have been doing for over 20 years of my life without a Department of Education license. I worked for the Department of Labor and worked with at-risk students. It just required an extensive background check. Anyway, it's frustrating to me because I'm constantly spending money for this job that's not paying me any money. But we are living in a time where sometimes you got to start over and do a new job. Again, I am very happy at my job, but I am over all the requirements to the job, keep the job, because it makes me not want to do the job. I actually enjoy the job, but all of the constraints that you put on teachers, ridiculous. And then they're like, oh, you're going to want to hold on to those, Ms. V, because next year you're going to have to take some more of those training classes. You're going to have to send in your transcripts again to keep your license, all kinds of just ridiculousness. That's just how I feel. I'm over it. Again, I love my job. And so you know what? This is evidence. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I can't see what's on the other side of this, but I tell you what, it's got to be better than all of these requirements and all these constraints that they have put on me to do something that I'm actually very good at, and that I actually, truth be told, I actually enjoy it. This is my rant. If you stay till the end, you know what? I'm going to be me. Please like and subscribe, because there's more from where this came from. Signing off as a first-year teacher. Peace.